Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. It is me, Desiree, and today I wanted to recreate an eye look that I have been loving doing because it's so easy, there's no fallout, it looks like kind of complicated, like there was a bunch of steps, but it was super easy to do. I've been loving doing it. And I also wanted to review this. This is the Hindash BEAUTOPSY Palette. This is the palette I've been going to every day lately. And I realized I never actually did a review on it and I always wanted to. Let me zoom in first. Hopefully you can't hear the washing machine right outside the door. I feel like it sounds really loud to me, but I don't think you're gonna be able to hear it. So the first step to this eye look is the MAC Longwear Paint Pot in the shade Groundwork. I just freaking love this color. I want to wear it all the time. And I was getting in kind of like a rut with eyeshadow because I just have so many things, and maybe I'm just really heavy-handed, but so many of the things that I have give me a lot of fallout on my face. And my preference is to do all the makeup first and then eyes last. But with a lot of stuff you have to do, or I have to do, eye makeup first because there's just so much fallout, so much sparkle and shimmer down here that I want to wipe away. But then I feel like when I'm wiping it with some micellar water, I feel like I'm taking off my eye cream, and then I just didn't like that idea. So I started only using things that I knew wouldn't give me any fallout, which is where this palette comes in. So the first step is the MAC Paint Pot in the shade Groundwork, like I said. Just a really beautiful, cool toned brown. There is just something so special about this color. I can't get over it and I want to wear it every single day, which is what I had been doing, and I got really bored of it because I felt like I looked the same every day. So I'm just going to put this on the lid. And I started using the Hindash palette just to add a little bit of something to this color, because I didn't want to just have this. I wanted like a little pop of something, and then I stumbled upon a look that I really loved. And then just a technique, I guess, and a couple of products I think it really went well together, which is why I'm going to recreate it today. Alright, paint pot is on. I just got it lightly on both lids. Now let's talk about this freaking masterpiece of a palette. So if you don't know who Hindash is, he is a makeup artist and he also has a YouTube channel, and he has a very he is really honed into his style of makeup, and it is beautiful. Not only is his style of makeup beautiful, but watching his hands, just like he's working with paintbrushes on these models' faces, it's just incredible to watch. And then the models he uses are like otherworldly beautiful. Like, where do these people exist? He just has a really nice YouTube channel all about just makeup, and it's really refreshing to see. But he's really good. And this is the first product he put out. It's called BEAUTOPSY. And I think this came out last year, 2021. I don't have any concept of time. I could have had this for 10 years, but I think it was last year. And this is how it looks. Each little pan has like 2 colors in it, but in reality you can mix and match each pan and get like a bunch of different shades. But each one has like 2 different colors, and they're in a gradient, and it is just so pretty. And when I first saw this and saw him using it, I thought it was going to be a mess of a palette, because I just remember that Hourglass palette that came out. Remember? It looked like waves like this, and there was no dividers between any of the colors. The formula was so soft and powdery. It was just a chunky mess. Even people that claimed to really like it, when they would show it, it would be just a mess that they were using it. This is nothing like that. So the pans are pressed really firmly. Like, I don't even want to swatch this because I feel like I might get a hard pan on them. And I also just put lotion on, so it'll be a whole thing. But I don't think swatching would do this palette justice anyway. But the pans are pressed very firmly. You can seriously just like, I'm using the Morphe M514 brush just for reference, just so you know the kind of brush, I guess. It's very scratchy and pokey. I love it though. But anyway, so you can kind of go to town in one of these pans. I don't normally do it like this, but you can go to town in there, and it's not going to fall all over the other colors. They're pressed very firmly, but they pick up very easily on the brush. So that was the white color. Let me show you the red one here. Just like dab in a couple times and you got color on your brush, but the red isn't falling all over the place. And I love that these pans are pressed very firmly because it keeps the product from moving around all over the place. Like, even if you're using the palette for the gradient, it's not gonna disappear. Like, you're not just gonna lose the gradient there. I use the heck out of this palette and you would not even be able to tell. I think that's the only one that looks like I've actually touched it. But I've used every single one of these colors multiple times, and you wouldn't even be able to tell that I used it. The palette looks perfectly clean, even though I've never cleaned it. I just really love this. I'm sure this was a labor of love, and I'm sure it took a long time to formulate this wonderful formula. So not only is it pressed firmly, you're not going to get any kickback in here, you don't have to go to town with your brush to actually get the color to show up on your brush. See, look how many times I dabbed that in and I got the red right there. So on top of having a really easy to use formula, it's so easy to blend. So easy to blend. The colors you see in here are the colors you are going to get. You see this red one here? It's going to be red on your eyes. It's not going to be pink. That's one thing I find with a lot of like red colored eyeshadows. They tend to just blend out to pink or like a magenta kind of color. But this one actually is red. What you see is what you get with this palette. And I just absolutely love it. I feel like with this one, the possibilities are kind of endless when it comes to mixing and matching. And I thought it was going to be kind of a muddy look with mixing and matching some of these colors. Like this one here that's like gray blue looks really good with the red, and I did not think that that would look good at all. I don't know anything about color. I'm not a color theorist. I'm just going by what I think looks good. And I've tried every single one of these colors. I have mixed and matched every single one of them, and they all look really good. The one that I'm going to recreate today though is using that color Real, which is that gray blue one. And I think I'm gonna dab into the pink and red one a little bit for a little color on the outside. At least this is what I did yesterday and I loved it. And I'm gonna kind of mix and match them like that. And it's not gonna be muddy. I was actually really nervous to use that color right there with the red and the pink because I thought it was just gonna be like a mess. I don't know what it is. Every single one of these colors goes really well with every single one of the other colors. But also Hindash is an actual like artist, like a painter. So I'm sure he has some training in color theory. For the video he did when he was launching this, he like went into depth about why he chose the colors, his life as a painter and all that kind of stuff. So you could definitely see that translate to the palette, and it's seriously a work of art. It's really, really good. And although it's a pricey palette, I think I'm gonna have this for so long because as you see, it looks like I haven't touched it at all. The colors also blend like a dream. They blend so easy. You're gonna see how quickly this look comes together. Very user-friendly, very beginner-friendly, and it's just a really fun palette to have. And at first I thought like, oh, you have like 5 or 6 colors in here really to use, but they're all so fun to use. They're fun to mix and match and just kind of experiment. I think probably my least used one is actually the white, and I thought it was going to be the black one, but as you can see, I used the heck out of that black one. The black it's black, but it's not scary. It blends super easy. It doesn't overtake your eyeshadow look. It's just a really easy palette to use. So I have on that MAC paint pot. I'm going to go in with that shade Real, which was that gray blue one. And when I first tried this, I thought it was gonna immediately look muddy, but it doesn't. Oh, I don't want the mirror that close. Let's zoom in a little more. So I'm just gonna go in with that shade right there called Real. It's really like a blue, gray, kind of really cool color. And I thought it was going to immediately make my eyeshadow look muddy, and I was very nervous about it. But it doesn't. It's just a really pretty blue-gray, and I think it goes really, really well with that MAC paint pot. Just really nice. And I think Hindash did recently put out another palette. And I always thought matte shadows were so boring, but I've learned they are not. If they're done really well, you can still get a lot of nuance out of a matte shadow. Another really amazing thing about this palette is there's literally no fallout whatsoever. Like I can go into this color here, not tap it off at all, and not one fleck is going to fall onto my cheeks. It's crazy. I remember when I first started using this, I even had my boyfriend read the ingredients. I was like, how did they make this palette? How did they make it so firmly pressed but easy to pick up on a brush? How does it blend so easy? How is there no fallout? And we literally dissected the ingredient list on the box trying to figure it out. I don't know anything. I couldn't figure it out, but I don't know how he did it. I've literally never tried eyeshadow like this before. And then the formula is just so smooth and so easy to use, so easy to blend. It's just really fun, and I really love this palette. All right, and then I'm going to take, I think I'm going to get a little bit of this one called Boy, and then with the color called Love. It's just like the first part of the gradients on the pink and the red. I'm gonna get mostly pink though, and then like maybe a dab of the red. And then kind of just lightly on the outside, that's not the right part, just on the outer part of the eyeshadow here, just kind of blend around, just to add a little bit of color to it. And I think the only thing with the palette, especially if you are into like follow along type of eyeshadow tutorials, it's going to be kind of difficult with this one because they're also gradient. You can mix and match the colors depending on the brush you're using. You might pick up more color, especially for mixing and matching, you know? So you can follow along to an extent, but I think the fun of the palette is the experimentation. So follow along as best you can, but still kind of have fun mixing and matching your own colors. And I just really love this gray blue here with that little bit of reddy pink on the outside corner. I just think it looks so pretty. So now I'm gonna get my other brush, my little, what is this? The e.l.f. smudge brush, my little favorite brush here. And I'm gonna go with the red one. I'm just gonna kind of dab around in there, and I'm gonna put that one on the lower lash line. I was gonna do pink, but I don't know, I was feeling like doing red for some reason. I am gonna put on some black liner because every time I do this kind of color on the lower lash line, I feel like I just look ill, like I have some bad allergies or something. You know what? I think I want a little more red on the top. I'm just going to kind of sweep the brush like that. Just to kind of, I don't know, balance out the red on the lower lash line. And I'm barely touching my eye. Like I could barely feel the brush touching me. Because I don't want it too intense. But I still want some red. Ooh, I love it. I love it. I love that extra little bit of red. Oh, I really like it. All right, I'm gonna get a little bit of the black one on that same brush I put the red with, just on the outer part of the lower lash line, just to kind of balance the red with the darker color. I don't know what I was trying to say. A little more. All right, last step, I'm gonna take my highlighter. I can't put this highlighter down. It's from Jaclyn Cosmetics, and it's the mini highlighter. This is it. It's the color called Iced. It is the highlighter I have on my face, and I love this. The first time I used it, I went over the top crazy with it, but I've noticed now if I start slow, it really just, I just love it. So I've been getting on a flat brush, and getting it and putting it on the inner part of the eyelid. I don't know if you're really gonna be able to see it in the camera, but in real life, it just adds this nice little pop of shimmer to the front, to like, what's that part called? The inner part? The inner part of the lid. I mean, it looks good, completely matte as well, but the other day I was trying to put this on my inner corner and I put way too much, so I kind of had to just go with it, and I really liked the way that it looked. So there it is. I am going to put on some black eyeliner on the waterline and mascara, and then we will wrap it up. I'm going to use the Makeup by Mario Master Pigment Pro Pencil in the shade Super Black. And then I'm going to use the Caliray Come Hell or High Water mascara. And then I think I'm going to use the roller lash, the Benefit roller lash on the top. I've just really been liking that one. And that is it. I got the mascara on. I think the black mascara and like the waterline liner really grounds a red-based eyeshadow look. Makes it look a little less like you have allergies and a little more like you're just trying to look nice. I don't know if the paint pot is necessary. It's just been a step I've been using. I feel like I probably could have just taken the gray blue shade and patted it on the lid, but it's just what I've been doing, so that's why I threw that in. But I think the real magic was from this palette. You saw how easy it was to use. There was no muddiness, no messiness. It blended great. Literally no fallout, not one speck of red fell on my face. I absolutely love this palette, and I love this look. I've been doing it every single day, mixing up the colors from the palette that I've been using, but basically the same kind of technique, and I think it comes together super easily, and it looks like it was more effort than it actually was, because it really just came together really quickly. But that is it. Let me zoom out. Let me know if you have this Hindash palette. Do you love experimenting? How do I even do an outro? That is it. That is my little quick demo and my thoughts on this palette. I freaking love this palette. Like I said, the only downside with this, I think, is if you love doing like follow along with this exact color type of tutorials, or you like following those kind of tutorials, this one might be kind of difficult to do with that. But I think that's also kind of the fun, is you are the artist, you get to experiment with it, and I really, really love this palette for that. It's a wonderful palette. This is one of those things I would say would be like an investment type of palette, because it is kind of pricey, but in my opinion, totally worth it. I don't regret buying it at all, and I love the way the look came out. But that is it. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know what you think, as always, in the comment section. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Is my hair flat the whole time? Yeah. I will see you later in another video. Goodbye.